you to a gentle flow, and I'd like you to focus and bring a mindful awareness to the concept of making space. Yoga is all about that. You have to make space in your schedule so that you can find time to practice. You have to make space in your mind so you can be present during the practice. And you have to make space between your vertebrae so you can have that long axial extension so you can practice safely. So let's make space together and enjoy this gentle flow. I'll meet you on your mat. Sit up in a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. And if it's uncomfortable for you to be seated on something, even you can't get your hips high enough so that you're feeling discomfort in your knees high enough, rather, that you're feeling discomfort in your knees, you can even lay down, just so that you can bring your focus to your breath. And just close your eyes, stack your vertebrae, check in with your posture, and start to bring some awareness inward. And make space in your heart to receive this practice and all it has to offer. And just slow up your breath, even it out. And open your palms up to the ceiling in a receptive pose. And just be mindful that we are all, even though we are in different places, we are all connected. So I invite you to just in your mind's eye, imagine a hand of one of your fellow yogis just reaching into your right hand, holding it. Feel the warmth and the energy flow from their body into yours. And just feel that connectedness one to another. And know that no matter how distant we are, and no matter where we practice, we are one collective spirit. And continue to breathe, nice and slow and steady. And just check in with your body, see where you might have some sticky points, and maybe just take a minute to focus your breath and your energy there. Try to soften those muscles. Bring yourself totally into this present moment. And then gently bring your hands to heart center, chin to chest. And let's make the intention collectively to be mindfully aware of opening our heart, opening our mind, and opening our body to this practice. One more deep inhale through your nose and cleansing breath through your mouth. And then slowly flutter open your eyes. Drop your hands back to your thighs. Stack your vertebrae, sit up nice and tall. Inhale, bring your hands up and overhead. Bring them back down to heart center. Leave them here for a minute. Hold your pinky and your thumb together. Open up the petals of your lotus flower and let that love and light shine right on you. From your heart into everyone's heart who is practicing with us today. Inhale, lift up. Offer that light up to the world. Exhale, pull those petals in, round your back, just like a seated cat-cow. Inhale, lift, open those petals, arch your back. Take it up as high as feels comfortable for you. Bring it back down on your exhale, round your back one more time, just like that. Inhale, lift, open those fingers. Exhale, bring that back down, round your back. Inhale, open your arms to cactus. Try to keep your elbows even with your shoulders. Exhale, right hand claps over to the left. To the right, sorry. Inhale back. Exhale, right hand over. Inhale back. Exhale, left hand over. Inhale back, just nice, gentle twist. One more, the opposite way. And back. And bring that right hand back to the mat. Left hand to your shoulder. We're just going to take a lateral stretch here, keeping your shoulders and your hips stacked. So we're moving the spine in all the directions it can move in. And then come on back up to cactus on your inhale. Exhale, left hand down, right hand to your shoulder. Just making like a little teapot, getting that, opening up that side body, keeping those sit bones on the earth. And then come on back up to cactus. Hands to heart center. And let's link all of that to breath. So we're just going to take it fluidly in the flow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Two of these. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, clap. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, clap. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, teapot. Lift that shoulder. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, other side. And come on back up. Inhale, cactus. And bring your hands back to heart center. So we talk about all the directions your spine can move. We do flexion, moving forward, extension, going backwards, lateral, opening up those side bodies, and then twists when we do our claps, right? So we're just warming up the body, making space. So now unwind your feet and then give them a little shake. And then crisscross them again, this time the opposite leg that you had on top. Just switch it. I know sometimes it feels really wonky to do that. There you go. And come up, sit up nice and tall. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, drop that right hand behind your right leg, your right hip, and then just gently twist with your thoracic over to the right. Sit up nice and tall. This is squeezing out your organs, right? Your digestive tract. So we're making space in there, kind of moving things around. Hold that breath, nice tall spine. Your gaze is over your right shoulder. One more breath here, and then back to center. Unwind. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, left hand behind your hip, and then twist over, nice tall spine. And you might feel one side's a little less cooperative than the other. That's okay, that's how we're made. So just be kind and compassionate to yourself, no judgment. Sit up nice and tall. Just try to feel that stretch coming from, that twist coming from your middle. One more breath here. And then come back to center, unwind. And if you're sitting on a bolster or a pillow, you might want to remove it and just come to seated staff pose. So you're sitting nice and tall. Pull your cheekbones out, feet together, toes up to the ceiling. So you're feeling a nice stretch in the back of your legs. Sit up nice and tall, like make a lot of space between those vertebrae. Check in, drop your ears, your shoulders away from your ears. And then take your blocks, if you have them, and you might want to put them on either side of your calves. Or maybe up a little closer to your thighs, your call. So as we're going to hinge forward from our hips, and as we hinge forward, you're just going to either drop your hands, so you're going to stretch out forward this way, keeping a long, tall spine with space between all your vertebrae. And then you can either drop your hands to your blocks, if that's more comfortable, or drop them to your shins, but you don't want to round your back. So you figure out what works best for you. So come on back up, nice tall spine. Reach into your hips, come down forward. Just come as far as is comfortable and then just drop your hands wherever they go. Don't bring your shoulders up to your ears. There you go, great adjustments. Good, and you can stay here or here. Just feel the stretch in your lumbar spine, across your glutes, your hamstrings. Sit up, making sure you have a nice long spine because we don't want to worry about any compression. And just breathe. Try to find softness in your quads if you can, keeping those toes up to the ceiling. Your gaze can be down at the mat so you have a soft cervical neck. Take a couple of breaths here so we're opening up that lumbar spine, those muscles on either side of your lower back. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Take your right knee and just bring it in, give it a hug. Sit up nice and tall. And then take your left hand, hold on to your knee, take your right hand, put it behind your hip, and let's do another twist here. Nice long spine, and take it into that twist. Keep those sit bones on the earth. And then come back to center, and then gently relax that right knee to the mat, keeping that left leg straight in front of you. So you might, if your hips are tight, you might want to put a block underneath your knee. And check in with that left toe, make sure that it's pointing straight up to the ceiling and it's not tracking out to the side. And then again, make a nice long spine. And then forward fold as best you can. No rounding your back. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. You can even take your block and just rest here. Keeping a nice distance between your ears and your shoulders. Just feel the stretch. You're opening up your hips. You're working your hamstrings. And then gently come back up and bring that right leg out to meet the left and bring the left one in, bend it, give it a hug. Sit up nice and tall. Right toe to the ceiling. And then again, hold on. Take that left hand behind your hip, nice tall spine, and then twist. Keep your chin even to the earth. Nice, good. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Good. And just breathe, feel the twist. And then slowly unwind. Drop that left knee out to the side. Again, you can put that block. That feels good. Keep your right leg straight in front of you. Straight even with your hip. Perfect. Sit up nice and tall. Make space between all those vertebrae. Arms out in front of you. And let's just rotate forward. There you go. And then drop your hands wherever they feel they need to be. You can just let your neck be soft. So try to make some space between your ears and your shoulders. And your gaze can be down. Just feel the stretch. You're opening up that left hip. And it doesn't matter how far you go down, as long as you're hinging from your hips with a nice long spine. We don't want rounded backs. A couple more breaths here. And then slowly walk your hands back up. Now take your right foot, bring it to meet your left. You can stack those bricks underneath your knees. And if this is way too much for you, then just extend your legs forward a little bit. So the more forward your feet are, the less intense the stretch is. If you feel like you want a deeper stretch, you just keep bringing those feet closer and closer in, using the blocks or not using the blocks. Sit up, but you want to pull those sit bones out so that you can sit up nice and tall and you have a nice long spine. Perfect. And just sit here like a little frog for a minute. Just kind of maybe you even want to move it a little bit, just back and forth. There you go. And then find stillness. Nice long spine, that's the most important right here. Last breath here. Go. And then bring your feet back out. Stretch them out. Good job. Coming to tabletop. Check your alignment. Hands, knees, feet. Curl your toes. And then just lean back, lean your hips back. We're just gonna kind of stretch out our feet and the fascia on the bottom of our feet. So we're just one big long line of fascia from all the way from our plantar fascia right here, all the way up the back of our leg to the top of our eye. So everything is connected. So we need to stretch it starting from our feet. So now come forward. And then sit back again. Do you feel that in your feet? Yes, ma'am. And come back up one more time. And then uncurl your feet and just relax them. Maybe even tap them a little bit. And let's do some gentle cat-cows here. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, belly button to spine, round your back. Drop your chin, and a couple more on your own breath. So we're lubricating our spine, moving that synovial fluid. And you can add any organic movements that your body needs today, some little side rocks maybe, some deeper movement in your flow. And then come to stillness and extend your right foot back. Just curl that toe, extend that foot back, and just get a stretch. Nice long spine. Gaze is at the mat. And just push that heel back so we're stretching out our calves. And continue to breathe here. Push, push, push. Stay right where you're at. Now lift that right leg. And if it's in your practice today, use your glutes to hold it and support it. Lift your left arm and extend it forward. Perfect. Looking good. Nice long spine. Continue to breathe. Push away from the earth with your right hand. You might feel a little jiggly. That's okay. Use your core to support you. 2 more breaths. You got this. And then bring it back down. Widen your legs and come back to child's pose. All the way down. Drop your belly. Extend your arms. Try to get a long stretch. Toes together, knees apart. Deep, long stretch. Try to extend your hands as far in front of you as you can so you feel that full upper body stretch. This is always your resting place, always a place where you can come to any time of your practice when you want to take just a minute for yourself. One more breath. And then come on back up to table. Check your posture. And extend your left foot back. push that heel, straight leg on the earth, just stretching out the calf. Gaze is towards the earth. Nice long spine. Lots of space between each of your vertebrae. Now take an inhale, lift that leg. When you feel stable, if it's in your practice, raise your right arm. Core is supporting you. You're pushing away from the earth with your left hand. And then bring it back to the earth. Widen your stance, come back for another child's pose. And then come on back up to all fours. Take your left hand, one handprint forward. Kickstand your left leg out to the back. And then take your right foot to the inside edge. Extended out away from your hand. So you're in a supported side angle. There you go. And maybe leave your hand here on your hips. That's your choice. But try to open up your chest. You're all in one line. And if it's in your practice, take your hands either to cactus or extend it right hand up towards the ceiling. If you really want to stretch it, take your gaze up towards that right hand. Doesn't matter where you are in this moment. Where you are is where you are exactly supposed to be. No judgment. And if you really want to get crazy, lift that right leg. Use your glutes. Try to keep it on one long line. And then slowly bring that right foot to the earth and that right hand back to all fours. Take a minute. Sit back in child's pose for 2 breaths. Come up to all fours. Take that right hand, one palm print forward. Kickstand your right leg back. Extend your left leg on the inside. Put your weight on the inside edge of that foot. And then play around with your version of this pose. You can have your hands on your hips. Want your shoulders and your hips in alignment. And then explore where you want to be today. Breathe, don't forget to breathe. No judgment. And come on back to all fours. Last time in child's pose, just stretch out that back. And then grab your blocks, bring them in front of you. Come back to your knees. And then step your right foot forward. Your back is stacked, your vertebrae are stacked. You're not stretching your hip flexor yet. We're just nice and tall here. You can rest your hands on your thigh. And just take your balance here. Bring your hands sort of like a kneeling Tadasana. Gazes forward. And close your eyes for a minute. See how much more work it is to keep your balance. Kind of pay attention to what's happening in that left thigh to keep you up. If you feel wonky, open your eyes. I don't want you to topple over. And then come forward, just kind of walk that front foot forward a little bit, and let's lean into that front leg so that you can begin to stretch that psoas muscle on your left side, your hip flexor. Nice long spine. Use those blocks for support. You can bring them closer to you so you feel nice and stable. Check in, that right knee is over your right ankle. Now inhale, lift back, but don't come all the way back, just till you have a straight leg on that left leg, and then flip your toes on your right foot up, so we're stretching our hamstring. Hinge at your hips and start to forward fold, but that left leg is straight. You're not sitting back on that left leg. And you're just coming forward. Use your blocks for support, and you're feeling a nice, good, long stretch in your hamstrings. Couple breaths here. And then slowly drop that right foot and just lean, walk the blocks forward. Feel that stretch in your psoas. Long spine, shoulders away from your ears. Knee over ankle. Nice. Looking good. Breathe. And then back. Flip that right toe up. Straight left leg. Hinge at your hips. Forward fold. We have to hold it for a minute so that we can stretch out that fascia. Now take that right foot, turn it out to the side on the outside edge so that you can stretch that T-band, that IT band that comes on the outside of your foot. Do you feel it? Hello, tingly, stretching. And then maybe even lean over to your right as you turn your head to your left. So you really feel that stretch. And then bring that right foot back flat to the mat. Bend that knee. And then slowly inch it back so you can bring your knees to meet. Take a minute. Nice and tall Tadasana here on your knees. Take those blocks, put them back in front of you, and when you're ready, step your left foot between them. Keeping that long spine, making lots of space. Just sitting up nice and tall, knee over ankle, ears away from your shoulders. Great. Now start to inch that left foot forward and come into a nice stretch for your hip flexor on your right. And just breathe gently into this. If any distracting thoughts come, just clear your mind. Make space for this moment. Connect your breath with this stretch. Try to soften on the exhale. And then on your inhale, bring that right knee straight, that left foot up. Bring the blocks closer to you. Hinge at your hips and start to come forward for forward fold. Keeping those hips and shoulders facing the short end of your mat. Feel the stretch in your hamstring. Keep a nice long spine. And remember not to sink that right hip back. It's better to inch that left foot forward so that you can get a deeper stretch. Feel the difference? Good. And then drop that foot, walk those blocks forward for another hip flexor. One more. Pull those shoulder blades down your back. Toe up, bring those blocks back, forward fold. And then take that left foot and drop it out to the side, to the pinky side of your foot. Stretching that IT band, and then maybe swing your hips over to the right a little bit so you can really feel that stretch up the back, the side of your leg. And then come on back to kneeling, and then bring that right leg back. Good job. Okay, step your right foot between the blocks, and then your left, and come on up to standing. Just bring your awareness to your feet. Lift your toes, and then feel your foot rooted in the earth, and then drop your toes and grip the mat with your toes. And then feel your calves tighten, and then feel your thighs lift away from your knees. Feel your glutes engage, core pulling in your midline, shoulder blades tucking down your back, and arms extended out to the side. Nice, soft cervical neck. And now you are in a strong Tadasana. Open those fingers like starfish. One more breath here. Close your eyes. See how your balance feels here. See if you can feel stable and grounded. Great. Now slowly flutter open your eyes. I'm not going to ask you to come into a full tree today. I just want you to kickstand your right foot. Just bring your heel to your ankle. Turn that right knee out. Pull that right hip up so that your hips and your shoulders are squared to me. And just hold here for a minute, nice and strong. Now engage your arms, bring them up overhead into prayer, and then down to heart center. Now take your fingers, all but your index fingers, and interlock them so you make a steeple. So your thumbs are tucked together and your 3 fingers on each hand are interlaced and just your index fingers are pointing up. Engage your core and lift up. And then exhale as you start to bend over towards your bent knee. Keeping your shoulders and your hips to me. Pulling up from your ribcage, making lots of space. Trying to get your biceps close to your ears if you can. This is our half moon pose. Opening up that side body, the lateral stretch. Come back up, inhale tall. We got to do the other side. Ready? Inhale tall. Slowly try to stretch out to the opposite side. Keep your balance. Keep your feet grounded. Come on back up to center. Bring your hands back to heart center and shake out. Not a lot of work, isn't it? A lot of energy. Okay, let's start with our rooting our feet again. Get nice and tall. Kickstand that left foot. When you're ready, engage your core. Lift up nice and tall. This time, once you're stable and you feel strong, pull that right hip up. Engage your core, come up with your hands. This time we're coming to cactus. Exhale, bring your arms to cactus. Inhale, forearms together. Exhale, cactus. Try to keep that balance. Inhale, pull those shoulder blades apart, forearms together. Exhale, squeeze those shoulder blades down your back. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus. One more time, forearms together, inhale together. Exhale, cactus. Arms down and release your foot. Shake out. All right, we're going to come into a warrior one pose. So step your left foot forward and your right foot back. They're on two different tracks. Nice and tall, shoulders and hips are stacked. You can take your hands to your waist. Drop your shoulders down your back. And then inhale, bring your arms forward. Bend that front, straighten that front leg and bring your arms back. Airplane arms. Engage your core. Come forward, bend that front knee. Bring your arms straight up. Gazes up. Exhale, straighten that front leg. Bring those arms back. Inhale, one more time. Keeping those feet rooted on the earth. Exhale back, pull that front knee back. Use your core, come on up. Bend that front knee. Turn that left toe to the front of the mat. So both of your feet are facing alongside of your mat. You're in a wide leg stance. And then hinge at your hips. Just come forward. You take a block, bring it here. Put a slight bend in your knees if you need it. Take your block on whatever level you want it to be. Or just come to the earth, wherever you are today. And just feel this forward stretch. Try to keep your weight evenly distributed on both feet. You're not leaning back on your heels. The weight is even between the front and back of your foot. And then slowly engage your core, straight back, slight bend in your knees, and come on up to standing. Right toe to the short end of your mat, left foot facing forward slightly, two different tracks, and you want warrior one on this side. Arms up, can be in front of you or overhead. Front knee is bent, tracking over your heel. Exhale, pull that front knee back, bring those palms facing the back wall, hinge at your hips and come down for a forward fold. Engage your core, pull up on the inhale, bend that front knee. Exhale, pull that knee back, palms go to the back wall, straight leg. One more time. And then come on up, and that front knee. Turn that right toe to meet the other, facing the long end of your mat. One more wide leg forward fold. Hinge at your hips. Come to your block wherever you need to be. Try to soften your thighs, soften your quads. Drop your head, just let your head shake. And then bring your feet, your heels in. And take your blocks if you want. You can stack them. You can stack a few of them if you like. And we're going to come into Malasana. Opening up those hips. Always scary, right? Turn those toes out. Hands at heart center. That's perfect. If Malasana is not in your practice today, you can stay right here. Wherever you feel yummy. Breathe, you got this. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then lower yourself down to your mat. And you're going to put one on the tall setting. And one coming at you that way, making like an L. Yeah? One tall, one long. If you're using pillows, you're just going to stack 2 pillows on top of each other, one in the back and one slightly in front of it. Then you're going to take your big pillow or your bolster or whatever you're using and make a little ramp for yourself. Okay, you're with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so now bring your hips as close as you can to the big pillow. Swing your hips around so that your legs can go up the bolster or the pillow. And then lower down. And just play around with this posture till you feel comfortable. Tucking your shoulders underneath your back. And just try to relax. And if you feel like your legs feel like they're going to fall off the pillow, you can crisscross them. Whatever feels good for you. This is sort of our version, a modified version of up the wall. Legs up the wall. And just take a minute to breathe here. And think about the concept we talked about making space. How can you make space right now in your body? Where are there areas of tension? Can you soften and make space between your shoulders? Can you make space between your eyebrows and just let them fall apart? Can you make space in your mind and just bring your focus back to your breath? And this is draining our lymphatic system. We talked about that, I think, a week or so ago, that when we have this lymphatic system that doesn't have a pump, and that movement, and yoga is so good for moving all that lymph through our body, and that lymph is what cleans out all the toxins and the unwanted cells in our body. And you can take this as your final Savasana pose, or if you want to take a more traditional pose with your legs on the floor, you can make yourself comfortable. If this is where you want to stay, then just begin to bring your focus in. And staying in this place, just bring awareness to the space in your mind. What's going on? Are you able to bring your focus to your breath? Bring awareness to the space in your body. Can you soften and relax your muscles and elongate your spine so that you have lots of space for the fluid to flow? And maybe for a minute, begin to think of making space and how that would apply to your life once you leave your mat today. Can we cleanse out the corners of our lives and maybe shift our priorities, the non-priorities, to a lesser place in our attention? Can we find time to make space in our lives for friends in person, safely distanced, rather than spending hours of time being consumed by internet surfing or games or things that are unproductive, that rob us from the present moment. Can we let go of attachments to things and make space in our hearts for the things that really matter? Can we let go of expectations the way we want the world to be, to make space for the way it is meant to be in our world, for us? Can we make space in our heart to forgive the people that have hurt us, so that we can forge healthier relationships? Because at the end of the day, it's about quality, not quantity, of the space where we reside, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And by increasing the space in our body and our mind, we create a space that others want to be around, a place filled with positive energy. Slowly begin to bring awareness into your body. Slight movement in your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, gently make your way onto whatever side is comfortable for you. Curl your knees into your chest and just pause there for a moment. And just think, by making space in our life for the things that are really important, we will find new energy and be able to spread that throughout not only our world, but in the world at large for all the people and relationships that we have and the people we meet. So gently make your way to seated. Eyes still closed, hands at heart center. So as we close today, I want to thank you for making space in your schedule to spend this time on your mat with me and with all of us. I want to thank you for making this a priority, for dedicating time to yourself so that you can be the best version of you. So as always, from that place of light in me, I acknowledge that place of light and love in each one of you. I wish you blessings and gentle hugs. Namaste.